Pounders, we are live doing what we do best, and that is putting $10 into the big board. Best ball, fantasy football. If you guys don't already know, we're running a little competition between the subscribers to the pound. Top 3 finishes on the big board. We'll get a bar stool, Roger Goodell, clown nose towel, friendly competition for the ladies and gentlemen in the chat. So let's go ahead. We have a little bit of news. I was DM'd a question by Art asking if Stafford moves on from the Rams, how does that affect Cooper Kupp? Should we be drafting him on the back end instead of the front half of the first round? It's tough. I'm not dropping him below Eckler. Like, sure, you can drop him a few spots. Maybe right after Tyreek Hill. I'm not overreacting just yet, but let's see. We're going to know in a couple of days. So who knows? We might not even get a 4-spot, 5-spot, 6-spot to make that decision anyways. But there's a little bit of rumors. What if Rodgers ends up in Vegas? Does Stafford go to the Jets? We'll see. It's all speculation right now. No need to overreact. This draft is what? 50, 61, 62% filled at this point? Let's take a peek. 61.5% full. So it's not going to matter too much. Cooper Kupp is still Cooper Kupp. Yeah, that's the way I see it. That is the way I see it. You're welcome, Art. You are welcome. So let's jump into a big board. And I guess we don't have the biggest of news. Sterling Shepard is expected to re-sign with the Giants. Sort of interesting. I expect that, Slayton's a goner at this point. They're going to have Wandale, Hodgins, and Sterling Shepard. Might be a late round guy that we can start to mix in the 20th round with those Danny Dimes lineups, because I don't think I don't remember seeing him being drafted at all. So something we can kind of incorporate. So if you guys are ready for the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're jumping in, waiting on 2. If you guys haven't already, drop a like on the live stream. It helps the channel tremendously, especially small channel. So try to get the word out to as many best ball players as possible. Of course, Ben gets in this draft. Wabi, Elims, welcome. If I didn't call it your name and you're in the chat, give us a shout. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like best ball and you want to get in these live drafts with us. Not only that, but if you want some of the best minds, I'm not going to say that, but we do think we have really good strategy and just being able to balance our roster as we draft. That is my biggest strength as a drafter. I can definitely say that. That's why these 30-second pick drafts, I tend to go with this route because I'm good on the move. I can balance it really quick. Whereas those 8-hour drafts, I don't like my teams as much. So you have to know what you're better at and sort of go from there. Eric B says he is in the 12 spot. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Badge bro with the red badge there. All right. I was on another streamer's YouTube today. It was just like, damn, that's like a lot of badges people. Sort of like this. And pretty much said like badges doesn't mean anything, but experience does play a factor. And where Underdog fans just getting bigger and bigger, the fact that you guys are all still doing your research in the off season is really good, because by the time mid off season comes, like the summer, you're going to have so many new faces and new accounts playing on Underdog that you're really going to be able to take advantage, and you're going to see a lot more badgeless people. So it's good. It's a sign that the app is growing. Why is Kelsey behind Diggs? The ADP says 5. You may have changed something in your rankings, Ben. You may have changed something in your rankings. Let me see what I can do here. All right. What's he say? Hi. There it is. We figured it out. We figured it out. Oh, I did. You right. You right, you right. That's the only thing that could have happened, so let me pop out the chat so I can see you guys talking that crap, and let's pull up the board here. We're on the clock. We're gonna go AJ Brown here. Taking Eckler after these wide receivers go off the board. Pretty standard for us. We have a good amount of Eckler too falling on the back end of drafts, 10, 11, 12. Let me peek the exposure for the fellas. Eckler, 8%. So we're basically right at market, but we've been getting him at a better ADP. An ADP that we are comfortable with. And we've been drafting AJ Brown in front of Devonta Adams this whole time. I think if this offense loses Miles Sanders, sure, they'll bring in another running back, but they might also go a little more pass heavy. So something to look out for there. And it was AJ Brown's first year there. Pretty impressive. I don't think you can really go wrong where Devonta Adams does have a little more unknown at the QB situation. Elims goes Garrett Wilson at 14, ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown off the board. Interesting. Interesting. I was kinda hoping we get one of those too. I really like those double wide receiver starts here. See what Greg does. Kenneth Walker at 16. Interesting. I think we go ahead and we select a Barkley here just because he fell a few picks and our exposure to him is not extremely high, 5%. So again, he's one of those guys we've been waiting to select in this range. So I think it's actually getting him at a better price right now is beneficial because we're getting different roster constructions versus like we were drafting these wide receivers back here. So now maybe we don't take him here and we take the value. We'll end up with different lineups than we did when the tournament first opened. ER7, I know this isn't football, but anyone else excited for tonight's episode of The Last of Us? Yes, 100%. I have to catch it tomorrow, though, because the wife's gonna make me watch American Idol. That is the truth. That is the truth. Yes, it is an HBO show, The Last of Us. Super good. Super good. I would see the 3 elite QBs off the board, 18, 20, and 21. Mahomes going last of the elite QBs, I agree with that. Especially with the word that they're not bringing anyone else in for receivers. They're gonna roll out with the same squad. It's like, we know it's Patty Mahomes, but it's rough. It's a rough crew. Breece Hall at the 2-3 turn. I saw something today that the Jets might be interested in Jamal Williams. What? Like, really? Was Donovan Knight and Michael Carter over there? I don't know how true that was, so we can fade that take for now. Nez, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. Yes. Yes, you heard that correct. That is what is happening tonight at 8 PM. Pregnant wife, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. We had a couple slow drafts going on for that, so Derrick Henry goes here at 27. Olave at 2-3 turn. I think that's the right spot for him, to be honest, in front of DK. So you're seeing that a lot more now. Yeah, 100%. American Idol over Oscars, 100%. The wifey isn't into the Hollywood stuff, luckily. Luckily. Big win. That's a big win there. Let's see what we do here. Alright. With this crew, I mean, we can go a second running back, but it's not something I wanna do here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick a Justin Fields, who I think easily could be going in this range. Let's see what you guys trolling me on the American Idol still? Come on, come on. Finally get the piss yellow on stream. Ben, you congrat it's a quick congratulations here. I feel like you've been going double running back on the live stream for so long, and I actually like the Miami correlation. So we'll see if you can get Tua to fall back to you. That'd be nice. This is a nice start here too. Lamb, Garrett Wilson, and DeAndre Hopkins. And the 12 spot. Gets no love with no receiver value falling to him. But Eckler to 12, you can't really complain. Can't really complain. It's a nice spot for Eckler. There's always that risk they bring someone else in, but let's see. Let's see. Keenan Allen is back after they readjusted his contract. I think they saved around like 9,000,000 or something. So that is going to lower Mike Williams' value in my opinion. I think that ADP really revolved around Keenan Allen moving on from the Chargers, but it's alright. He has the potential to have those freakish spike weeks that can win you the slate, so alright, cool. We're gonna bring in DJ Moore here for the correlation. It's not crazy, the question. A couple picks before ADP. DJ Moore, you have to move him in front of Mike Williams, that's for sure. I'm moving him in front of Christian Watson, especially, like, I don't expect Rodgers to return to Green Bay. So, Christian Watson with Jordan Love or DJ Moore with Justin Fields, you know what I mean? Um, we don't know where DeAndre Hopkins is gonna be next season, so you're paying for the certainty as well. Like, you could easily move him ahead of D-Hop for now. I'm moving him ahead of Debo, and he's probably gonna go neck and neck with DK, to be honest. That's where I see his value, so I'm gonna select him. We already have 18% when he was going near 50, 51, but I don't know how many stacks we have with Justin Fields. How does Kellen Moore? Keenan Allen? How does Kellen Moore affect his upside? Who? Who you're referring to? I'm watching the Oscars to see I stay away from that. I have to. I'm glad the wife does too. Let me know who wins. Let me know who wins. Lamar 44, Justin Herbert at 46. Just not interested in Justin Herbert in this range. He should be going at least near Dak, but even then, like, now Dak is getting a little like, he loses Schultz, I'd prefer Tua at this range, just take the injury risk. Prefer Danny Dimes. I think Rodgers, you can move him ahead of Russ now. Argue you can move him ahead of Jared Goff, especially if he ends up in New York with a couple weapons. Yeah. Mike Williams, because he was expected to be the number 1 target there. If Keenan Allen moved on, like, and everyone was expecting him to, this was the price for Mike Williams. Now that we know Keenan Allen readjusted his contract, I think we have to adjust Mike Williams' price. Like, he shouldn't be going before Amari Cooper. Again, like, Keenan Allen's another year older. Mike Williams, just book him for missing 2 games next season. Being generous. Back injury, foot injury, whatever you want. Thing is, you only want him for week 15, 16, 17, right? So, he still has that upside for those weeks. I just think with the news of Keenan Allen coming back, you have to make a small adjustment there. That's nice wide receiver values falling. Kittle off the board. Tyler Lockett's my go-to, but Terry, a little after ADP, we'll go with Terry. We will go with Terry. We have a fair amount of Terry as well. Him and Tyler Lockett, both disrespected every year. So we'll see if we can get some consistent quarterback play in Washington. I doubt it. Greg hasn't selected a receiver yet. Gonna be interested to see how this team comes out. Probably like doo-doo. Naked Joe Burrow. Yeah. I'm actually lucky he's picking after me. He's letting a lot of wide receivers fall to me, so thank you. Thank you, Greg. Couple of these streams we've done in the last couple of days, we had Joe Burrow falling to 50 and 51. So typically, if we can get some people in the draft that are mostly listening to our streams, if they don't have the receivers with Joe Burrow, they're not selecting them. That's sort of the way it should be with those pocket passing quarterbacks, unless they fall like a ridiculous amount. But the thing is, Joe Burrow should be going in this 50 range. He just doesn't have the rushing upside. Justin Herbert, same thing. Trevor Lawrence goes at 61. 5 picks after ADP, a little bit. Yeah. Eric says he likes Mike Williams touchdown upside and half-point PPR, 100%. But you're paying 37. I think that was before ADP. I think he went ahead a few picks before ADP. Let's go. The dream. The dream. We do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us. Really do. Chris Godwin falling to 65. I mean, he goes ahead and picks Deontay Johnson, 10 picks before ADP, but leaves Chris Godwin. I'm fine with it. Let's just make the easy pick. Chris Godwin at 65, especially if they move on from Mike Evans. Hello, a little bit of value there. So Tampa Bay saw some new state. Who are they going to bring in? Was it Baker Mayfield has the potential to go to Tampa Bay? I think that's the rumor I saw. So Kyle Trask, we haven't been drafting him at all, but you might want to slow down if you're last round Kyle Trasking every draft. Gotta grab Baker late. Honestly, it's not a bad play. Not a lot of people are drafting Baker. What if he has a 27, 28-point week 17? Funny enough, I think my puppy 3 lineup that made the finals had Tyler Higbee and Baker Mayfield, and they both went off week 16 and week 17. So, it happened last season with Baker and Tyler Higbee. I think he had two touchdown games to end the season, 16, 17. And then our week 17 lineup had Derrick Henry and Jalen Hurts, who didn't play. We finished 114th. Annoying. I'm fading Cook hard this year, but got some value. Yeah, we'll see where he ends up. It looks like they're shopping him right now. Looks like they're shopping him. There's good landing spots, but it's a matter of who can afford them. Kind of fading Dalvin Cook as well, but I don't hate the price. It's just I think it's more the range that he's going in. I'd prefer like a Treylon Burks, 20% Cook. I really don't hate it. I don't love him, I don't hate him. I probably will get up to around 8% before this is over. I'm not gonna be super overweighted, but we'll be at market value, I think. I think that's a good place to be with Cook. Because of the range of outcomes, there's a lot of range of outcomes, right? And he does have that spike potential, so we'll see. It's gonna be an interesting free agency. So the legal tampering, I believe, starts tomorrow. the 13th, and then free agency on the 15th. I think we do have to go ahead and move up some of these free agent wide receivers, especially you can kind of assume that Carolina's going QB, maybe CJ Stroud with the first overall pick, going to bring in some free agents at wide receiver. They're not gonna just let him throw to Terrace Marshall. Come on. Like, sure, we can move Terrace Marshall up, and we should, but who would you guys like to see go to Carolina? Because I think DJ Chark would be a good starting point for that team, and he instantly becomes the wide receiver 1 on that squad. That being said, I don't have a lot of DJ Chark, but that might change in these last 50 something drafts. Interesting range. Never go Mixon here. I think running backs will fall to us, so I'm not pressured to go running back here. Kadarius Toney. I guess this is a good time to give my take on Kadarius Toney going at pick 82. He's a gadget guy. I don't see him as someone that's gonna command 20, 22, 24% of the target share of this offense. I think Sky Moore gets a little more involved. Now, a positive for him, small positive. McCole Hardman most likely not returning to KC, and they both sort of had that gadget role. That being said, I don't think they played too many games together due to injury on both sides. So, does he have 2 touchdown upside? Sure, but, I mean, people down here also have 2 touchdown upside, and they don't cost as much, and they're more than gadget guys, and there's the injury risk as well. So, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm just talking him down so I can get him at 89. Who knows? You know you're paying the rake when it's round 8 and you have more QBs than wide receivers. Oh, shit. Greg DM with the 500 plus badge donating to the Pounders on the live stream. Every draft needs one. Every draft room needs one. Thank you for your contribution. You should be able to put that on your tax returns as a donation. Goes ahead and picks Joe Mix. Uh, oh, let's I think there's a chance that Demont does return to Chicago. It's a matter of if they can get the deal done or not. Pick it 104. Let's risk it for the biscuit here. Bring in our second running back. KC Connection, this name is familiar. The only other draft I did with him, he literally did do the KC Connection thing. He had everyone on KC. Tony goes at 92. Be more excited if it was the Mahomes team, but I don't think you have to stack him. Jet sweeps, he can score touchdowns all sorts of ways. So I just I just don't like him at his ADP or even after. I think Myers is a more interesting play. Maybe a safer play, but this team has how many rookies? 2 rookies. So you kinda want that floor piece, and Myers provides a really nice floor. So where the rookies start slow, I think Myers would have made more sense than Tony in this roster construction. He did get the Tony Kelsey inverse correlation for spike week potential. Right, right. Just the rookies start slow, so I mean, we'll see how that roster turns out because he went double elite QB with an elite tight end, first wide receivers, JSN. I like Ramondre, went 6 picks early, so I don't know. I don't know. When you don't have a receiver yet at 29, coulda went DK. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out. We're up in 5 picks. Wide receivers looking juicy. Running backs are looking juicy. Pull up the board. Sanders off the board at 98. Seems like a value. That's I think that's worth the risk. Him having 4 running backs isn't my favorite, though. Dillon off the board to the team with Nick Chubb and Javonte Williams. Kamara off the board at 101. Yeah, please just get these keep scooping them. Keep scooping them. Perfect. We're gonna get our guy, Daniel Jones, with the Saquon Barkley. Might be doing a last round pick of Sterling Shepard, so don't be surprised if you see that. If someone snipes me, go ahead. I won't be too mad. He'll probably get hurt anyways. 5 running backs through 8 rounds. Who is it? Who is it? Ah, Greg. Greg. All right, he went with Mooney. He went with Mooney. We could have gone Mooney there, but come on. Look at our receiver room. We already have DJ Moore. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Just wait. Just wait. Zay Jones off the board at 108. Correlation with T-Law. I don't like Zay Jones's his value. I think it's bad. I think it's bad. Especially that not Mark. They're bringing back Evan Ingram. So a lot of mouths to feed there. Rodgers goes to, I'm guessing, the Wilson team. Yep, Garrett Wilson. Wow. Zay Flowers went at 83. I didn't see that. I like Zay Flowers a lot. Elijah Moore. Perfect. Little double stack there. Maybe. Potential double stack. I like the running backs there as well. 127. I don't really like reaching up for Cole Kmet, especially with another mouth to feed there. Let's just go with the easy pick in Brian Robinson. 9 picks after ADP. We're bringing in our 3rd running back. Plus, we have options here. We have options. Elijah Mitchell was one of them, but goes 20 picks early. Whoa. Okay. I like him. I'm high on him. I don't know if I can put him in front of Kenneth Gainwell. I don't know if I can put him in front of David Montgomery right now, though. I mean, why not, I guess. He does have that upside if CMC does go down. He still has a role as a, like, change of pace back anyways in one of the highest powered rushing offenses in the league, so I'm super high on Elijah Mitchell. I think he's our most owned running back. Yeah, 27%, so drafting him all the way down from 155 at the start of these. Peanut butter jelly in the live stream. What's up, my man? Do you guys think the Kamara gets a suspension? Yes. Yes. Go on the YouTubes after this and check out that video. It does not look good. It does not look good. Eric B says, I like Mooney and Hyatt, but I'm not sure he can make up those wide receiver points. Right. Hyatt didn't have the best combine. I believe his 40 was expected to be faster than he ran it. But the guy does have game speed if you check his tape. It doesn't matter. We have a few picks. We have a few picks, Ben. I wouldn't mind. I have so much. He's my most He's tied for the most. Him and Hunter Henry, the exact amount of entry fees. So, Wan'Dale Robinson, someone we were looking at to pair with Danny Dimes, goes a little early. I don't hate it, though. I think that's the right call. Devon Achane dropping all the way from, like, 160s, 170s to start, now going at 137. Someone I'm now fading just because the price we got him at was so good. It was so good. Ben goes Downs, Gainwell. So we didn't reach up for Komet, and he does fall to us. We liked Wandell as well, but he was already selected. We'll see what we got coming back to us in 8 picks. So now I do own him more than Hunter Henry, making him the sole number 1 owned tight end. 28%. 28%. I like it. I like it. Now I am glad we didn't go, uh, what's his face? Moore? Not Moore, Mooney. Because you don't want 3 pass catchers in Chicago. Be lucky if 1 gets there on a week, so but Kmet did have 2 touchdown games, so you do like that upside. He's involved in the red zone. That is what you wanna see. Draft the guys you wanna draft. That's all I can say. Draft the guys you wanna draft to make your team better. Sniping does not matter in this. If it's the right play for your team, if it's the guy you want, get it. Go and get it. Alec Pierce goes at 134. I think that's a sharp pick. Let's see what Greg does. He's an absolute wild card. Goes Greg Dulcich. Wild card. Do we just bring in Isaiah Hodgins? He could be drafted out of this role. That's what that's what I'm worried about. He could just completely be drafted out of this role. Yeah. I'm not going Hunt. I'm not going Antonio Gibson because we have Brian Robinson, but I typically would probably go Antonio Gibson here. And if I didn't have Daniel Jones, I'm not going Isaiah Hodgins. Just a little tidbit there. If you guys haven't already, drop a like on the live stream. It helps the channel tremendously. If you like this best ball content and you want to get in some of these live drafts with the pounders in the chat, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. You'll be the first one in the live stream. Just a follow on Twitter too. We drop some random knowledge on folks there, and we're always answering questions in the DMs. So a good way to get a hold of us until we start like our Discord or something. I've had a couple questions about that. Rashid Shaheed going at 142. We do have the Juwan Johnson news as well. I don't know if you guys saw that. I think 2 deal, staying in New Orleans. So that's someone that's going a little too late at tight end, in my opinion. Especially get the news that he's staying. He has been climbing. He has been climbing. I don't think any tight end has climbed more than Trey McBride, though. He was going like 215 to start these, around 215. Zach Ertz was going at like 160. Now he goes behind Trey McBride. But as we saw, like at the end of that season for Arizona, Trey McBride was taking the rollover. Yes, Zach Ertz was hurt, but Trey McBride also looked better on the field. The McBride snipes are insane. Wabi, who doesn't have a tight end. My apologies, my apologies. I talk about everyone though, so I do like McBride. He's gotta be up there in our exposure. Let's see. 23%. But we've been doing a lot of 3 tight end drafts, so a lot of these mid, late round tight ends, because we're doing these 3 tight end teams, this is gonna be another one. We're scooping the value at either QB, running back, wide receiver, or all 3, and then just picking 3 late tight ends. So a lot of these guys, Jawan Johnson, Michael Mayer, Conklin, Bellinger, Chiggy. Get Chiggy with it. I kinda like Donta Foreman here. If they do re-sign him, and you kind of expect them to I do. I think he was really good for them last year. He had 4 100-yard plus games. He had a multi-touchdown game. They traded away their first. They traded away a ton of picks to get that first overall. They traded number 9. They traded their 2nd round. So maybe they're not drafting a running back. I think it secures Donta Foreman just a little bit in his role. So we'll see. At ADP, I'm fine with the pick. P. Ryan, I like. I think that's actually this guy's like first good pick. I think that's actually a super sharp spot for P. Ryan. That's hysterical. This guy went rogue. Like he's completely dead. 2.641. That is funny. It just goes to show, like, every blind squirrel finds a nut. Every blind squirrel finds a nut. King, welcome to the live stream, my man. I was able to snag Rodgers at pick 150, stack with Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, and Tyler Conklin. Let's go. I'm rooting for Rodgers to New York as well. That a boy. That is a thing of beauty. But Rodgers, he's one of those guys that after the news breaks, just you're not gonna be able to get him, or you're not even gonna want to draft him until it settles down. Like, after the news breaks, it'll take a few days, just like DJ Moore and, Justin Fields. He was going at this, like, 2-3 turn in a couple drafts. It's like, come on, guys." Now you can profit, like, you can make good value picks based off of news if you can sort of identify where you think their ADP is going to land. Don't select them way before that, otherwise it's gonna be a bad value. We could go Stroud here. This is sort of an ugly range, though. Probably just going Taekwon here. Little reachy pay on Taekwon, but I think it's the right play. Boute's fallen so much. He's fallen, what, like 20 picks since the combine? Had a real bad combine. Alright. We need a couple more running backs here, so it's probably gonna be we can see if someone falls to us at QB that we like, but most likely staying with just these 2. Both have a good rushing floor as well as rushing upside. So I think these 2 are fine. We need 3 tight ends. This wide receiver room is looking pretty good. Probably just add 1 more. So we'll see. Looking good. We're pretty balanced right now. I think we're pretty balanced. GG says. GG. Seth says he's been trying to get the Rodgers stacks with the Jets, and today did it happen? I'm making it happen today. Goes up and gets Trey McBride at 159. I love it. I love it. I'm Pat. You guys haven't met Johnny yet. He does have a newborn right now. Tyler is on most of our sports. He does get into the live stream sometime, but he does work, like, most of the times when we're going live. So you guys will meet everyone eventually, but right now it's us grinding. Day 21 out of 22. Been live 21 out of 22 days. Been absolutely grinding these. It helps though. Like, it helps knowing people's ADPs, who's changed, by how much. Let's see what happens here. Looking at a couple people, Singletary wasn't one of them. I don't know if I wanna give up my second pick just yet. Got too many pounders behind us. Saquon, Rashad White. Let's go ahead and get Tim Patrick. I think this just completes our wide receiver room. If they do move Sutton, Tim Patrick becomes the second pick at wide receiver over here, 6'4", gonna be an absolute target hog in the red zone. Exactly. Do you think Denver keeps that team together? No. No, I think they're gonna sell Sutton. We'll see. Like, they might just end up just absolutely selling house, so Terrace Marshall at 181 is not a terrible pick. I think that's actually a good spot for him. So in that same draft, he's saying, "I also stacked Russell Wilson with Judy and Dulcich." I love that. I love that. 2 quarterbacks with the correlation. We want the correlation with those pocket passes as well. Let's see if our guy falls to us here. One of them was gonna be Rashawn Johnson, the other one was gonna be Kendre Miller. Alright, we get Tank Bigsby, bring in our first rookie running back, a few picks after ADP. We're up in 14 picks, which is 200. MVS goes off the board to the KC connection guy. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? No bias. No bias. Nothing to see here. Let's peek what these guys are doing at the back end here. David started QB's got Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love. At tight end, he has Evan Ingram, Dawson Knox. Running back, Austin Eckler, Bijan. So double running back start, brings in James Cook, who I love. I love that value. And I agree that you caught up on wide receiver and other positions. So I think that's super smart when you do this double anchor running back start. Christian Watson, Mike Williams, Marquise Brown, Zay Jones, KJ Osborne, Hunter Renfrow, Khalil Shakur, Terrace Marshall. I'm starting to draft a little more KJ Osborne, especially now we get the news that Adam Thielen's not returning to Minnesota. So I do like this pick. I'm selecting DPJ a little, probably selecting DPJ over him right now, and maybe even Juju with the news he's returning to KC. But I do think this is the range where you can start to mix in KJ Osborne. Strong team. It's a strong team. Elims, Rogers, Bryce Young, Staffy at running back, Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, Tyler Algier. I like those 3. And they bring in Kendrick Miller, 182. It's beautiful. Running back, or no, those were the running backs. Tight ends, Kyle Pitts, Tyler Higbee, Michael Mayer. You're probably done there, I would think. We'll see what you do. CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, DeAndre Hopkins, Zay Flowers, Elijah Moore, Alec Pierce. Yeah, I love this wide receiver room. We're on a lot of these picks. We're on a lot of these. Wabi, Jared Goff, Kyler Murray at QB. So you have your floor guy with a little bit of upside. He's actually really good last year. So playing from behind all the time, we expect sort of a similar game script this year for Detroit. And now JMO, potentially second year coming in healthy. That's nice for Goff. Kyler Murray, You're hoping for the upside with the legs, week 15, 16, 17. You pair it with Rondo Moore, Trey McBride, which is nice. You got the Amon-Ra stack. I like these receivers. It's a strong team. All the pounders drafting well today. We'll check Ben's team in a little bit. This range is ugly, fellas. This range is ugly. Tom Kincaid. I think I'm just gonna bring in the second-year guy, Jelani Woods. Just gonna go with the second-year guy. I like to pair the rookie tight ends more with the top 5, 6, 7 tight ends, people that are gonna give you a better base, a weekly floor, and then the second-year guys, I'll go with, like, a Cole Kmet if he's my first or Dolchich. Maybe my 3rd tight end will be a rookie, but that's the way I see it with the roster construction. Thoughts on the X-type wide receivers in this draft, like Tillman and A.T. Perry? It's gonna depend where they go. I think Cedric Tillman is a early declare, so I'm gonna be a little higher on him than I will A.T. Perry. But, I mean, that being said, if A.T. Perry goes in the 5th round or 4th round to KC, like, it's just gonna depend. So we've been sprinkling in these rookies at the end here, so, like, we have a good base here, right, with vets, second-year players, um, upside guys, and then we sprinkle in the rookies at the end, just trying to make a super team because you only need a hit on one. One tight end, maybe definitely a running back. I have to decide if I want it to be 2 running backs. Most likely gonna be 2 running backs. The big thing is if Jerick McKinnon returns to KC, this is just a crazy value. But if he doesn't, we'll go McKinnon. We don't have a choice. We'll go McKinnon. I think it's fine. We're getting him 25 picks after ADP. Any news? No. No, not yet. They leave you in the dark. They leave you in the dark. But he's a captain there. Gotta think he has, some sort of grasp in the locker room, like an impact, so I'm sort of banking on that he returns to KC. I will be a little heavier than the field on Jerick McKinnon in this range just because it's worth the risk. What's the difference between going him or, like, a Chase Brown, and Chase Brown ends up on a crap team as the 3rd best running back on the team, you know what I mean? So we'll see. It is the 18th round. If he misses, the best part is, like, this team can still easily finish in the top 3. Up in 7 picks. The other thing is we could have gone like a Ryan Tannehill there, but again, it's just gonna be like another floor play. Tannehill does have a little bit of rushing upside, but we already have 2 QBs with rushing upside, so I don't know if that's the best play. I think we add another running back, another tight end, and this roster is complete, and I'm happy with it. Let's read off what Ben did. Oh, wow, he pissed yellow hard. He was pissing for days. 5 wide receivers to start, followed by Dalvin Cook, Cam Akers, I like that. Jordan Addison, bring in some rookie upside. Tua with the Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle stack. It's beautiful. Goes Pat Freiermuth, Josh Downs, Derek Carr, Zeke, CJ Stroud, Tajay Spears, Raheem Mostert, Van Jefferson, Darnell Washington. I think Raheem Mostert just it gives a little bit of hope for those people who draft Rashad Penny, just gives a little bit of hope. Like, if Mostert can stay healthy after playing his whole career with only 1 game above 20 carries, and then he was actually able to finish a season, it just gives a little bit of hope. If he can do it, maybe anyone can. Trey Palmer goes. That's funny. He's actually one of our sleepers that we go in the 20th round. We are not interested in a wide receiver anyways, so Henry falls to us, who we were potentially gonna go instead of Jerick McKinnon. Henry get in the bag. And this is why not going an elite tight end is not the best value right now. To not like, if you go an elite tight end in an 18-round draft, it is much more beneficial than these 20-round drafts because you can just catch up in the 20-round drafts just by selecting 3, and some teams selecting 4, but that's not it's not my favorite, especially the onesie position. One more running back. Jerome Ford off the board. Got a nice ring to it. Not a lot of JaMychal Hasty, which is interesting because ETN goes down. JaMychal Hasty comes in the game, gets 5 targets right away. How many times did that happen? They bring in JaMychal Hasty, and he gets all the targets. Like, what's going on? Give those targets to ETN. McIntosh didn't have let's go McBride. Let's go McBride here. I don't have a lot of McBride. He fell a little bit. He had a good combine. Or was he the one that might be mixing them up? Tweak it. I don't think he took part in the 40. But it might be a good thing because a lot of running backs fell. So McBride might actually benefit from not taking part in it. A lot of running backs did not perform well. Kenny McIntosh being one of those. Penny owners pray to Mostert every night. That's so true. That is so true. Mostert proved it can be done. It can be done. And Penny would be an absolute steal at this price. He's going around 175. Can you imagine if he stays healthy, he goes anywhere really. It doesn't even matter where he goes. Seattle wouldn't be the best place to stay. Now they've been patient with his injury too. I like this pick. Sleeper pick. Take notes. 6'4", big dude, runs a super fast 40. 4.34, something nuts like that. Let's bring this up. So we had Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, Cole Kmet, Jelani Woods, Hunter Henry, Saquon Barkley, Rashad White, Brian Robinson, Dante Foreman, Tank Bigsby, Jerick McKinnon, Dwayne McBride, AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, 11 picks after ADP. We bring in Rashad Bateman, who a lot of people don't. He's 23 years old. The kid's 23 years old. A lot of talent. Might be one of the best picks in the draft, or it might bust. So you're not going to want like 0% of Bateman. Isaiah Hodgins, only picking him here because we have the correlation with Daniel Jones, Tyquan Thornton, and Patrick. If Myers moves on, which we expect him to, if Aguilar moves on, which we expect him to, Tyquan Thornton should be going at least around Alec Pierce. At least. That's around 152. And even Alec Pierce should be going earlier, in my opinion. So, guys, thank you. Another big board draft in the books. We have about 50, 54, 55 left. We'll get some cooking. We'll get some 2 drafts in there as well before this ends. If you guys haven't already, drop a like on the way out if you enjoyed the live stream. Hit the subscribe button if you want to get into these best ball drafts with us. The bell for notifications so you're the first one in the live stream. Give us a follow on Twitter. Have a good night. Pounders.